Have you ever found yourself so frustrated, angry, or upset that it felt like your whole day was ruined by one person or situation? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or you had an argument with a coworker, and before you knew it, your mood spiraled out of control. Sound familiar? What if I told you that there's a way to stay calm and collected no matter how hard life pushes your buttons? Today, we're diving into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, a powerful philosophy practiced by some of history's most resilient figures, like Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the world around us, we can absolutely control how we respond to it. And that includes how we handle anger and frustration. In this video, you'll learn how to never get angry or bothered by anyone again. We'll explore 7 Stoic strategies that will not only help you stay calm in the face of adversity, but also give you the mental tools to turn any challenging situation into an opportunity for growth. Whether it's handling difficult people, stressful situations, or unexpected problems, these strategies can help you maintain your inner peace and live a more fulfilled, peaceful life. So, if you're tired of letting anger control you, stick around. The Stoic approach to life might just change the way you see the world and how you react to it. Number 1. Master the pause. Let's start with one of the most powerful Stoic tools, mastering the pause. Imagine this: you're in the middle of a heated argument. Someone says something that feels like a personal attack. Your heart races, your fists clench, and before you know it, you've said something you regret. Sound familiar? Now picture this instead. The same argument happens, but this time you take a deep breath. You don't react immediately. You pause. That one small act of restraint gives you the power to choose your response instead of letting your emotions take control. The Stoics believed that our first reaction is instinctive, but our second reaction is a choice. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, put it this way: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So how do you master the pause? Simple but not easy. When you feel anger bubbling up, practice counting to 10 in your head before saying or doing anything. Use those seconds to ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Will my reaction solve the problem? More often than not, you'll realize the answer is no. Here's a real-life example. Think about a time you received a rude email or text message. Maybe it felt like an attack on your character. Your first instinct was probably to fire back with an equally angry response. But what if, instead, you paused? Maybe you gave yourself a few hours or even a day to cool down before replying. By the time you did, you probably had a much calmer, more thoughtful response. Mastering the pause is like flexing a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Start small. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic or says something that irritates you, don't react immediately. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and remind yourself, I am in control, not them. This simple pause isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about giving yourself the space to respond in a way that aligns with your values. Over time, you'll notice that situations that once made your blood boil now feel like minor inconveniences. So try it. Start mastering the pause today. It's a small step that can make a huge difference in how you handle life's challenges. Remember, the calmest person in the room is often the most powerful. What do you think? Can you start practicing this strategy right now? Let me know in the comments below. Number 2. Understand what's within your control. Imagine this: you're stuck in traffic. The cars aren't moving, you're already running late, and to top it off, someone cuts you off without even signaling. Frustrating, right? But let me ask you, can you control the traffic? Can you control what other drivers do? No. The only thing you can control is how you respond. This is one of the core ideas in Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, put it simply: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When we focus on things we can't control, like other people's actions, the weather, or even the past, we waste our energy and invite frustration. On the other hand, when we shift our attention to what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we regain our power. Think about it like this. Life is like playing a game of cards. You don't get to choose the hand you're dealt, but you can choose how to play it. Complaining about the cards won't change them, but using your skills, strategy, and patience can turn even a bad hand into a winning one. So how do you put this into practice? Next time you face a stressful situation, pause for a moment and ask yourself, 1. Is this within my control? 2. If it's not, why am I wasting my energy on it? For example, if someone speaks rudely to you, their words are not in your control, but your reaction is. Instead of lashing out, you can choose to remain calm and not let their negativity affect your peace. This simple shift in mindset can save you from countless moments of unnecessary anger. By focusing only on what's within your control, you not only protect your inner peace but also become more effective in handling challenges. You're no longer distracted by things you can't change, and that clarity gives you an edge in every situation. Remember this: the more you master the art of letting go of what's beyond your control, the closer you'll get to a life of calm and resilience. Number 3. Negative visualization. Imagine this: you're about to give an important presentation at work. Suddenly, the projector malfunctions, your slides won't load, and panic starts creeping in. What do most people do? They stress, they panic, and sometimes they even lash out. But what if you had already imagined this happening? What if you had mentally prepared for the worst? That's where the Stoic concept of negative visualization comes in. The idea is simple but powerful. Instead of fearing what could go wrong, you take a moment to picture it beforehand. Let's say you're planning a family barbecue. Before the big day, think about what could derail your plans. Maybe it rains, maybe the grill stops working, or maybe someone brings up a heated topic during dinner. By mentally preparing for these possibilities, you're not caught off guard if they happen. In fact, you'll be calmer, more prepared, and ready with a solution. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, used to remind himself daily that he would encounter difficult people. He didn't do this to depress himself, but to strengthen his resolve. By imagining the challenges ahead, he ensured they wouldn't surprise him. He was ready. Here's how you can use negative visualization in your life. Before you face any potentially stressful situation, sit down for a few minutes and ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Picture it vividly. Then ask, how would I handle it? This simple exercise takes the sting out of life's surprises because, in your mind, you've already lived through them. Now, here's the key. The goal isn't to dwell on the negative but to become resilient. By imagining the worst, you appreciate the present more. That family barbecue? If it doesn't rain, you'll be grateful. If the grill works perfectly, you'll be relieved. And even if things do go wrong, you'll have the calm and clarity to handle them. So, the next time you feel the weight of anxiety or the fear of things going wrong, try this. Pause, close your eyes, and run through a worst-case scenario. It might just save you from unnecessary stress and anger. What's one situation in your life where you could use negative visualization? Think about it and let me know in the comments below. Remember, preparation isn't pessimism. It's power. Number 4. Detach from others' opinions. We all have moments when someone's words or actions can get under our skin. Maybe a coworker criticizes your work in front of others, or a friend makes a joke at your expense. It feels personal, and your first instinct is to react. But here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us that we don't need to take things personally. What others think of you is none of your business. Let's be real for a second. People are going to have opinions. That's just a part of life. And most of the time, those opinions have little to do with you. They are shaped by the other person's experiences, insecurities, and perceptions. So, when someone says something that bothers you, it's important to ask yourself, is this their issue, or is it mine? Here's where the Stoic wisdom comes in. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a step back and observe. Recognize that the person's words are reflections of them, not you. When you can detach from their opinions, you free yourself from unnecessary frustration. Think about it this way. Have you ever been on the receiving end of someone's bad mood or anger? Maybe they snapped at you, and it had nothing to do with you but everything to do with their own struggles. The same applies when people criticize or judge you. It's often more about where they are mentally, emotionally, or even physically than it is about your actions. For example, imagine you're in a meeting and someone interrupts you or shoots down your idea. The typical reaction might be to get defensive or even angry, right? But with a Stoic mindset, you take a deep breath and remember that this person's opinion is just that, an opinion. It doesn't define your worth or the value of your idea. What matters most is how you respond. Next time someone's opinion bothers you, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, why does this bother me? What am I attaching to this person's words? It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them. Stoicism doesn't ask you to ignore your emotions, but to see them for what they are, temporary and external. By practicing detachment, you gain control over your emotions. You stop reacting and start responding from a place of peace and clarity. And in doing so, you stop giving power to others to disrupt your inner calm. So remember this, opinions are like shadows. They're fleeting, and they don't define who you are unless you let them. Next time someone's words start to bother you, pause, reflect, and then choose to let go. Number 5, accept the nature of things. Have you ever been angry because someone treated you unfairly? Or maybe you found yourself upset with someone's behavior, wondering why they just don't get it? Here's the truth. People are going to act in ways that we don't always understand or agree with, and most of the time we can't change it. This is where the Stoic principle of accepting the nature of things comes in. The Stoics believed that everything and everyone has a nature, an essence that can't easily be changed. Think of it this way. Would you get angry at a tree for dropping its leaves in the fall? Of course not. That's just what trees do. In the same way, people behave according to their own nature, influenced by their experiences, beliefs, and emotions. When you understand this, it's easier to let go of anger toward others. Imagine you're dealing with a coworker who constantly interrupts you during meetings. They're loud, they're rude, and every time you speak, they cut you off. It's frustrating, right? You might feel like it's unfair, and that they're doing it on purpose to get under your skin. But here's the Stoic shift. What if their behavior has nothing to do with you? What if they're just being who they are, based on their own nature or past experiences? When you realize this, you can stop taking it personally and stop getting upset. The Stoics didn't say we should just accept bad behavior or let people walk all over us. They encouraged us to accept that people act according to their nature, and instead of getting angry, we can decide how to respond. If your coworker interrupts you again, you don't need to feel angry or disrespected. You can simply respond with calmness, assertiveness, and the understanding that their actions are more about them than about you. By accepting that people are going to be who they are, you give yourself permission to stop getting caught up in their behavior. Instead, you focus on what you can control, your response. And when you can do that, anger no longer has a hold on you. This doesn't mean you don't set boundaries or stand up for yourself. It means you stop wasting energy being angry about things you can't control. If you can accept that people will always act according to their nature, you'll find that it's easier to stay calm and unbothered, no matter what they do. Next time someone treats you poorly, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is just part of their nature. I can control how I respond. And in that moment, you'll realize how much more peaceful you feel when you stop trying to change others and simply accept them as they are. Number 6, embrace impermanence. We all experience moments where things don't go as planned. Maybe it's a disagreement with a friend, a missed opportunity at work, or a disappointing situation that leaves us feeling frustrated or angry. But here's the truth. Nothing in life stays the same. Everything, good or bad, is temporary. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, for example, reflected on the fleeting nature of life every day. He reminded himself that the things you think are important now are just passing moments. Think of anger like a storm. It might seem intense, but it always passes. Holding on to anger is like getting stuck in the rain without an umbrella. You could waste time feeling miserable, or you could choose to accept that the storm will eventually end. The same goes for people's behavior. People will disappoint us, upset us, or say things that make us angry. But just like everything else, their actions are fleeting. If we hold on to anger, we're letting something temporary control us. Here's where Stoic wisdom can make a difference. When you accept that everything is temporary, the less power it has over you. If you lose your job or face a setback, it might feel devastating in the moment. But remember, this too shall pass. The pain and frustration you feel now won't last forever. In fact, it will eventually fade into your past, and you'll look back and realize that, by accepting impermanence, you gained freedom from anger. The key here is perspective. Imagine a situation where someone insults you or disrespects you in front of others. Your initial reaction might be anger, but if you remind yourself that this moment is brief, that person's words are only temporary, and that you'll move past this, suddenly the power of the situation weakens. You're no longer controlled by what they said. Instead of reacting, you can choose to stay calm, knowing that this too will pass. Stoicism teaches us to let go of attachments, whether it's to people, possessions, or outcomes. By practicing this, we become less likely to be emotionally shaken by external events. So, next time you're faced with frustration or anger, try this. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, this moment is temporary. This situation will pass. With this shift in thinking, you'll notice how much easier it becomes to stay calm and unbothered, no matter what's happening around you. Number 7. Practice self-awareness. Anger often arises from a deeper place. Our reactions to situations are shaped by how we feel in the moment, how much stress we're carrying, and even the expectations we have. That's why it's crucial to build self-awareness. Understanding the emotions we're feeling and why we're feeling them. When you start noticing your emotional triggers, you can choose not to act on them. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're at work and a colleague says something that rubs you the wrong way. In the past, you might have snapped right back, letting that anger control the situation. But with a little self-awareness, you can catch yourself before the words leave your mouth. You can pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? Maybe it's not about them. It's about something else happening in your life. Maybe you're stressed about a deadline or feeling underappreciated. By being aware of these underlying feelings, you stop anger from taking over. It doesn't mean you ignore your emotions. It means you recognize them for what they are and don't let them dictate your actions. The Stoics had a practice of reflection, especially at the end of the day. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and an emperor, would write down his thoughts in his journal, examining where he went wrong and how he could improve. This kind of reflection doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to write an entire journal entry every night. Simply ask yourself, did I let my emotions control me today? Where did I overreact? Being honest with yourself is key. It's about building a habit of noticing when you're angry, frustrated, or upset, and then asking yourself why. The more you practice self-awareness, the easier it becomes to see the patterns in your behavior. Soon, you'll be able to identify the signs of anger before it takes hold, and you'll be in control of how you respond. This doesn't happen overnight. Self-awareness is a skill, just like any other. It takes time, patience, and consistency. But if you commit to reflecting on your emotions, you'll find that anger loses its power over you. You'll be able to stay calm in situations that once would have triggered you, and your emotional state will no longer be dependent on what others do or say. Relatable tip: start small. Before you go to bed each night, take just 3 minutes to reflect on the day. Ask yourself, what triggered my anger today? Why did I feel that way? The answers may surprise you, and over time, you'll begin to see progress. Remember, practicing self-awareness isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And every step you take toward understanding yourself will bring you closer to mastering your emotions. In conclusion, Stoicism offers powerful tools for mastering your emotions and staying calm in any situation. By practicing techniques like pausing before reacting, focusing on what's in your control, and embracing impermanence, you can prevent anger from taking over your life. Remember, people will always act according to their nature, and things won't always go your way, but that doesn't mean you have to lose your peace. The more you apply these Stoic principles, the easier it becomes to let go of frustration and remain unbothered. The goal isn't to suppress your feelings, but to recognize when they're no longer serving you, and to let go of the need to control everything and everyone. By using these strategies, you're not only protecting your peace, but also improving your overall well-being and making your life a lot more enjoyable. If you start practicing these Stoic techniques today, you'll begin to notice how much more in control you feel of your emotions. So, next time someone tries to push your buttons or a frustrating situation arises, take a deep breath. Remember these Stoic principles and stay calm. Let us know in the comments which Stoic strategy you're going to apply to your life and how it changes the way you react to challenges. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more wisdom, and keep learning to live a more peaceful, empowered life. Stay calm, stay strong, and stay stoic.